If we took a child out of a classroom of the 60s and 70s and put him in a classroom today, he or she would be stunned to see the kinds of materials they could access, the amazing photographs, the amazing media that is related to the content area learning that can make it so exciting, and the primary source documents, and the fact that all of this is accessible if a child knows how to find it well, and if the teacher and the librarian put it in a package that makes it more accessible for them.
Just because somebody puts together content on a web page doesn't mean it's information. It takes another level of people and the student to analyze that information, determine where it's coming from, and determine the motivations for making that information available. Everything on the internet is not bad, but at the same time, all of it is not good.
Research skills are so much more important than they were before. And the reason for that is that technology has expanded the choices. Information in the past has always been vetted. It's been vetted first by publishers, editors, series of those folks, and then by librarians who have selected the specific information that comes into an elementary, a middle school, or high school. At this point, the child is the one that needs to vet the information, because it's their brain that becomes the filter for that information. Should I accept this information or reject it?
By just turning the students loose on the internet, by just telling the students to go to Google or to go to Yahoo, is really not doing them any great service.
I am concerned about some of the research that I see students doing, and I travel around a lot and I hear the same issues come up as I speak to colleagues, teachers and librarians. I see a tendency for students not to plan before they go online, for not to think of what words are important or what phrases are important, or how to really pose a question that's meaningful. There's a tendency to throw in the first couple of words that come to mind without thinking of how to organize it as a true good search query. I see students settling for good enough materials when great stuff is out there, and they just may not recognize the good stuff, or they may just feel that the first page of the result list is good enough stuff for them to work with. I see kids not knowing how to move the stuff from page 300, which might really be the great stuff, to the top of the result list, because they don't have the strategies to move that stuff there.
When you run a search in Google, for example, you're not actually getting an answer, you're getting a link to a possible answer. And there's the big difference. Taking what you find, the first thing you find, and saying that's the answer is always not the answer or the best possible answer. There's something that was written about in a library book a couple of years ago called the principle of least effort. Taking what you find and saying that's the answer. I believe that educators and students need to take it to another level.
Skilled searchers know how to do a few things real well. They understand that searching is planning. So they think about synonyms, they think about keywords, they think about what's important. They think about the order of importance of their words, that they're not throwing words into a search engine randomly. They're going to put the most important words in first. They're likely to use nouns instead of words that may be less important than nouns. They understand phrase searching. They understand that putting quotation marks around words that are meant to be together is an important strategy. In addition to building a query using words in strategic ways, they understand the scope of search tools available to them, and they're making wise choices about those search tools.